Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Yes, we back with another nail tutorial here where I am actually doing my own nails, and people are always like, how do you do your own nails? So I'm gonna show y'all how I do my own nails, and I'm gripping and grabbing with the grabbers, you feel me? So I'm starting off with my OPI Band-Aid. This is my dehydrator, so I'm going to apply that to dehydrate my nails. And then I have my little primer bottle where I put my own primer in there. That's just the bottle, but the primer that I use is No Lift Nails primer. It's okay. I don't really like it too much, but it's okay. And then you see that is my Valentino acrylic that I'm using. I'm using Valentino acrylic system, and I'm using the color Soft Touch. And you just see me priming one hand because I didn't want this video to be too long. I feel like it's gonna be long enough, and so I'm just applying my primer, and I'm only showing you guys how I do one hand. And this is I'm doing my nails with my dominant hand, so you see me doing my right hand basically. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Alright, so first things first, we want to prep our brush, and then we're going to go ahead and grab that first bead. Might I say that Valentino, I love Valentino acrylic. It's very creamy. It's a very creamy texture as far as how it lays on the nail. And you just see me laying that first bead. And let me just throw this disclaimer out there for y'all. I am still learning how to film, but I must say that this overview is a whole lot better than what it was before. And as it goes towards the end of the video, I zoom in a lot more because I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. But guess what the problem was? I just needed to make sure that my camera was lifted up a lot higher than what it was. So that's pretty much all my problem was. Simple fix. But as you can see, every bead that I'm laying down, I am basically making sure that it all collides together, if that makes sense. If you are a nail beginner, you will learn as you go, but you want to start at the bottom of your nail. I kind of move around a little bit depending on the type of thickness that I want for the nail look that I'm going for. And since Valentino system is so I keep thinking of the word soft, but since it's so creamy, it's such a creamy and light texture, I felt myself not really picking up big beads. And even when I did pick up a little bit of a fatter bead, it was more like it still wasn't enough. So I'm still building on my nail, and I build from the bottom all the way to the top. If I need to go back and make it a little bit thicker, I do that. But that is how you're going to want to build your nail, is starting from the bottom and build the top. And that's how you build your foundation of your nail and build your apex up. So when I'm working closer to the cuticle, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I grab my bead and then I dry off the back of the brush, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but I hope that I am. But you know, you see me dabbing the brush off, and when I initially pick up the bead, I am drying it out off the back end of that brush, and then applying that, and then forming that on my cuticle. So that's very important, is when you're working towards the cuticle area, that you do work with more of a drier bead. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. And then you see me go back and just kind of build my cuticle up a little bit more, and build my nail up a little bit more where I felt like it needed to be more even, and have a little bit more thickness. So I ain't gonna talk too much, sis. I'ma just let you see me do the rest of these nails, okay? Alright, so now we moving on to shaping. This is what my nails look like. When you are shaping, you want to make sure that you take the edge off of the file so you don't cut yourself or a client. And pretty much taking the edge off is you taking another file and rubbing it against the edges of that file. That's how you take the edges off and kind of dull them out so you don't cut yourself, because the edges are really, really sharp. But how I file my nails is on the right side, I file them upward. On the other side, I file it downward. Don't ask me why I do it that way. That's just the way that I do it. And, you know, everybody files differently. But other than that, I do that as far as the sidewalls. And then I make sure that I go over it just to smooth it out before I go in with the E-file. So I use my hand file, then I do the E-file, and then I like to go back and make sure that my shaping is bomb, basically. So I'll go back in with the hand file again. And here I am, I'm getting ready to use my E-file, and I'm using the carbide bits. It is a flat top bit, and carbide bits, they really do, I love carbide bits because they shave over the nail, they don't scrape the nail. So that's what I always use to shape my nail, as far as like shaving it down. Any imperfections that I may have on the nail, make sure that everything is smooth. It's going to shave it and not scratch it. And I feel like that's something that's So important to your nail foundation, especially before you polish and everything, or if you're just going to wear your nails plain with just like a clear gel top coat or something like that, using the carbide bit, which is going to shave it and not scrape it, because you don't want to see those little marks when you're polishing, or you just don't want to see any marks on the nails. You want the nails to look flawless. And here is what they look like. Aren't they just so bomb? Yes, this is why I do what I do. Okay, so we about to go in on my full bling rhinestone nails. I'm using my stone adhesive, which is called Stone FX. I got it from my local nail supply store, so I don't really know where you can pick this up online, but it's totally worth it. It keeps my stones on. And how I usually apply it is I will apply that and then apply a thin layer of gel top coat over it. I didn't do that this time, and I kind of regret it, but I didn't do that this time, but it is something that I definitely do. And you just see me applying the stones, and the stones are from, some of them I got from my local Michaels. So some of them are the white Swarovskis, the other ones are just some regular no name brand crystal. The colorful ones are that, and then there's some crystal AB ones that I got offline from Amazon, but they have a lot of clarity. The colorful stones don't really have a lot of clarity, of course, because they're not Swarovskis, but I am going to use it to my advantage and use the crystal AB ones and the Swarovski stones to get that pop of clarity to bounce off of those stones and make sure that they shine as much as possible. Alright, so now that we done with the rhinestone nail, we getting ready to get into these glitter nails, honey. This is just some random glitter that I mixed up that I had, and I'm basically doing this like the dipping system method. I took my Cooper gel top coat, I applied that in a thin layer, and then of course you see I'm doing it like the dipping system method, so you guys can see me do it twice. And then after that, I'm just gonna cure under my UV LED lamp, and it's pretty simple. You can get bomb nails, you don't have to worry about encapsulation, and it's easy to take off. Then I'm going to take my D&D DC French Vanilla White polish and polish my nails for my base for the next design I'm going to do, which is going to be pretty simple in itself, but I need that white, and I'm going to do those 2 fingers. Even though you see me put my hand in the lamp, I was going to do another design on the middle finger, but I changed my mind. So I'm going to go ahead with the design, and I'm going to use my Young Nails gel paint pots. I have these pink, all of those colors. It came in a set, and honestly, I don't remember the name. Hopefully, if I remember, I'll be able to put it down in the description box. But I am just going to start striping the nails. Striping the nails and just bringing this look all together, honey.